Hey everyone, Mrs. Klein here. This is going to be our read aloud video for April, week 3, day 2, for those of you who have the flooding story. Now, I want to warn you, this is a story about flooding in China with the Min River. There's going to be some words that I'm not quite sure how to pronounce, but I'm going to do my best and just pronounce them the way that I pronounce them. If you pronounce them a different way, it's okay. Okay, so they're not English words in in this reading. So behind me, you will see I did get a background of the Min River offline, and I saved that for my background for this story. So we're going to talk about this river right here and some flooding that happened with it. So let's go ahead and pull up that story now. Okay, and here it is, Li Bing and the flooding. A very long time ago, there were people who lived along a river in China. The river was named the Min River. There was a problem with the Min River. The people who lived along it were scared of it because it would overflow. This happened once a year, every year. When the river overflowed, water would flood the people's homes and everything would get wet. This was a very bad thing for people who lived along the Min River. It was a big problem. So some of the people got together and started to think about how they could fix it. Eventually, the governor of the people got involved. His name was Li Bing, and he was very smart. Li Bing investigated the problem. To investigate a problem means to study it carefully and learn as much as possible. Learn as much about it as possible. Li Bing found out that the problem of the flooding river started up in the mountains. The tops of the mountains were very high up in the sky, where it was very cold. When it was wintertime, it would get so cold that the top of the mountains would become covered in snow. When the springtime came, all the snow would melt. When the snow melts, it turns into water. The problem was that the melted water would fall down the mountains and go into the Min River. This is why it would overflow and flood people's homes. Li Bing knew that the melting snow was the cause of the flood, but he also knew that he couldn't stop the snow from melting. So he started to think about other ways that he could fix the problem. Then Li Bing had a great idea. He realized that the best way to solve the problem would be to turn it into an opportunity. An opportunity is a chance for something good to happen. Away from the river, there was a flat piece of land that had its own problem. It didn't have any water. It needed water. So Li Bing started thinking about how he could get the extra water that was bad for the people who lived along the Min River to the flat plain of land that needed water to grow plants. Li Bing got a bunch of workers together and created a levee in the Min River. A levee is a big wall that people build to stop water from going somewhere. The levee makes the water go somewhere else. Li Bing and his workers made the levee out of bamboo and stones. It took him and his men 4 years to build. When the levee was done, the water stopped flooding the homes of the people who lived along the Min River and started going into the land that was flat and needed water. Now the people who live along the river didn't have to worry about the river flooding, and plants began to grow in the flat land. I think that's the end of that story. Let me double check. Yep, because then there's the questions. Okay, so we will, you guys can use this story for all of your assignments this week with this. On day 1, we read it, and then you guys write a summary. Day 2, you read a different story and write a summary. And then day 3 and day 3, you read both stories. And then day 4 and day 5, you read both stories and answer questions. Again, this is day 2. So yesterday we read the pool story. So this is day 2 for this one. All right, I will talk to you guys later. I hope you're all doing well. Love and hugs. Bye.